gonna be going over the Marvel movies. I think that a lot of people, after putting out my last video, I see a lot of people were kind of ranking the movies based on how they feel about them and stuff, and saying this movie is like worse than that or whatever. So I thought that today I'll be ranking all these movies by what is the best and what is the worst. We see here we have a real cinema, which is only the tried and true perfect ones, at least close to perfect as possible. Then there's, the great movies, like they're cool. I don't have, they're great movies. Aside from being Marvel, there's great movies. And there are the good movies, like, I like watching them, you like watching them, all that stuff, but like, it's just like a cool movie. Like, I like to watch them. I'm glad I watched all that stuff. But it's like, it's cool. It was cool. Then there are the cool movies, Yeah, for an MCU movie, they're fine. But in general, I don't, like, maybe if they were MCU, I don't care about them. Like, stuff like that. Then there are the lame movies, like, okay. Like, just, like, this is a waste of time, but whatever. Like, things happen, whatever. I kind of was bored, but at least I wasn't working or something, And there's a trash, like, you just regret watching. It's just terrible experience all around. Like, it's like, why did I spend money if I was unfortunate enough to spend money, or, stuff like that. And so I didn't watch, which is not many. But, okay, we can begin now. So starting off, I think this is the second Ant-Man movie. Yeah, it belongs over here. I don't like this movie, but I don't hate it either. It's just one of those movies that's like, no, actually, I don't like this movie, but I do dislike it. I think it's a very annoying movie. I think it is, like, boring. I think it has a lame main villain and a main plot line. That whole thing about the Invisible Girl, she was never interesting. The feud between her father and the original Ant-Man, like that guy, that was cool. It wasn't that cool, but it was okay. I don't have a problem with that. But, the movie itself was kind of stupid. And in the middle of, like, the Avengers movies that was stuck between, it's like, we have more important to think about. But it did lead to, stuff that happened in Endgame, so, I guess, even though the events of it may matter a little towards the end, they could have just did it in, like, another post-credit scene or something. They have to make a whole movie for it, so, that's stupid. But the original Ant-Man, I'd say it's good. I didn't watch the movies, like, way after it came out. So I think we were, like, halfway through phase 3 when I decided to finally watch it. Because when it came out, I thought it was going to be stupid and boring. I didn't know who Ant-Man was. I thought Ant-Man was a dumb character, all that stuff. But when I finally watched it, I was like, wait a minute. The beginning of this movie does not have a typical MCU feel to me. Like, it feels like a real-life guy who has real-life problems. Obviously, that quickly fell apart, in the second act. But still, it is an entertaining movie. I'll say that. It is entertaining. I know you guys are not gonna like this, but yeah. I do not like this movie anymore. When I first watched it, I didn't think it was real cinema, but I thought it was great. Like, when I first watched it, I thought it was great. I was like, this movie is cool, whatever. And as time goes on, I'm like, okay, it's alright. Now I'm like, okay, like, it's cool, but now, like, can I call it lame? No, I don't know. I don't think I'd call it lame, because this movie has some good stuff in it. Ultron is, I don't particularly like Ultron's, like, goal. I'm not gonna, oh, he's a bad guy, I don't like bad guys winning, not like that. I'm just saying, like, I think the whole destroy the world thing is kind of annoying. I don't really like it as a villain concept. I prefer the whole take over the world thing, but it can work. I mean, I'm not saying destroy the world is always a bad thing. Like, sometimes when people just want to destroy the world, it can be fun, or it can be interesting. I mean, something about Ultron just, I don't know. I like the voice actor. I think he does a really good job of the voice acting. I think he's a really interesting character. I like the way he is, like, really like Tony in terms of personality, but I don't like how he, looks, I guess. And I don't like the stupid Sokovia bum twins. They are mad at Tony Stark for bombing their crib as kids, so they retaliate by trying to get rid of the America's heroes. Alright. And well, they want revenge on Tony, and, they view, I don't care. Like, how are you mad at Tony for bombing you, so you join a terrorist organization that's trying to destroy freedom for the entire world? Like, you're tweaked out. I mean, I could call it lame either. That's Ant-Man territory. Yeah, I'll just call it cool. Whatever. This movie, I think this is Black Panther. No, this is Endgame? Is it not? I'm pretty sure this is Endgame because the one next is like Infinity War. So if this is Endgame, I'll put it like... It's a good movie. For the longest time, I'm talking for the last like 4 years. From when I watched it in 2019 to the next 4 years, I put it like here. But now, yeah. Every year, this movie gets like worse to me because like the first third is like hype. Like the first hour or something is like, no, not the first third, but the first like, I guess 30 minutes of this is hype. Like, you know, they just came off a massive L. They're wondering what's gonna happen next, and you know, the Captain America, Iron Man finally reunite, all that stuff. Like, it is really good. Then they murk Thanos, and it's like, okay, I guess they're gonna be doing something else for most of the movie. But yeah, then it goes through some terrible like second act where people are just doing whatever, and I don't know if we call it terrible, but you know, it's not what we expected. But whatever. But after that, they do the time travel stuff, and it's like, what is happening here? Why is the Hulk fighting the Ancient One? These people aren't even like connected. I'm not saying the Hulk shouldn't go back and fight someone. I'm fine with that, but like, why the Ancient One? Couldn't there be some weird, strange way to like somehow bring in like General Ross or something and to make him have to, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Like, maybe there could be a way for when they're trying to get the Tesseract or something, they're like, oh yeah, it's been moved to this facility, and, you know, General Ross is, like, behind it, and they have to get it back, and then Hulk has to confront him or something. Maybe that's stupid, I don't know, but, like, him and the Ancient Ones, like, what's the point of this? Like, and, okay, it would have been less bad, I guess, if this is before the Hulk became the Professor Dweeb. Like, if this is back when the Hulk was just a rangy monster, and it's like, okay, the Ancient One helps him see, like, his true self, I would kind of get that. But this is after the fact, so already Hulk is, like, in tune with himself, supposedly. So, like, whatever. And then the third act is, like, everyone's always the best part of Marvel history. Like, everyone comes together. It's, like, everyone in the final battle. And I used to think that way a lot. And to some small extent, I still kind of do. But at the same time, it's, like, that's just, like, hype. It's not really that great writing. It's just a lot of hype. And, you know, it is cool seeing all these people together. But the whole giant battle scene is just, you know, fan service. The ending is obviously iconic, like, you know, sacrifice is iconic, all that stuff is iconic, I get it. But the movie itself, like, as a movie, is just good. Well, you're lucky I don't call it cool, honestly. You're lucky about that. Now we have the best Marvel movie ever created. Nope. Yes. Real cinema. This movie is, like, almost perfect. This movie is literally my second favorite movie of all. Or no, he's called this. Someone on Twitter called this the Empire Strikes Back of our generation. That is a perfect description for this. Like, this movie ends in a way we know something else is coming, but at the same time, it begins in a way where you have to see the original story to, like, you know, understand fully all that stuff. The only problem I have with this movie, you don't watch Marvel movies, you're gonna be kind of lost, and that is kind of a problem because a movie is supposed to be enjoyed by itself above all else. And this movie is good by itself, but it's just like, if you don't know the story of the Marvel movies, it's just, you're gonna be lost for a lot of it. But that being said, this movie is just excitement the entire way through. It starts off with the hardest beginnings, you know, Hulk gets pieced up. Made Thanos one of my favorite characters off the rip immediately. And they spent the whole movie just in battle mode, just like, they have to get here, they have to do this, like, they have to just stop the plan from happening, and it just happens. It doesn't matter what they do about it, they're getting pressed. Like, this movie is hard. There's no part of this movie I can think of where I'm like, okay, we can skip this. I had a lot of parts of that movie, Endgame for that. Like, the whole, time travel stuff, when they're trying to get stuff together, when they're trying to talk about their feelings, all that stuff. I don't care. But this movie, there is no skips. Like, there's no part of this movie where I don't like. This movie is just hard, and this movie is just hard. Now we have, Black Panther. I think this is the first Black Panther. Okay. A lot of people... No, this is Wakanda Forever. Let me see. Okay, no, this is the first Black Panther. Alright, yeah, this is just a good movie. When this movie came out, it was so, like, you know, it was like the biggest thing ever, and I understand, like, Black Power, Africa Power, Black people, all that stuff. And, you know, it is cool seeing Black Nation not be brokies, and Black Nation be on top, all that stuff. But the movie itself is, like, just like Ant-Man, when this movie started, it was, like, pretty, cool. It was pretty non-Avengers. It was like a hood movie or something for a second, and I was like, okay, never mind. The aliens popped up, I mean, the spaceship popped up, all that stuff happened, and then it became Marvel. You know what it is. You know, the movie is good, though. Claw, I think, is a very interesting villain. I'm mad he got killed off. And the Killmonger's cool, too. People saying he had the right idea, he didn't, but he is a pretty cool villain. He is a pretty charismatic villain, all that stuff. I don't mind him at all. But at the same time, this movie is, in its own self, it's not really that exciting to me. I do like it, but it's not like a no skips thing. And it's not good enough for me to call it great either. It's just cool. I like it. You know, that. Now we have Civil War, another real cinema movie. This movie is like Avengers Light. This movie is better. This movie is kind of what Ultron should have been. Not in terms of like plot or anything, well maybe, but more in terms of like excitement. It's just action. It's just like real emotion. It's just everything cool about Infinity War is in this, but to a kind of a lesser extent. But it is a really good movie. This is like, you know, seeing Iron Man and Captain America fight, all that stuff, cool. That being said, I understand that now looking back, Captain America was kind of right or something, but I'm on Iron Man's side. He has all the cool people. He has all the, you know, real pressers, all the pushers, all the real niggas, all those guys. Captain America has some bums. Like, he has, like, Hawkeye. Okay. You have... The only person on your team putting work in is Wanda. You have your black sidekick. You have your boyfriend. You have all these other miscellaneous heroes. You have Ant-Man just picked up from, like, the streets. Like, it's just... Your team's not winning. Like, it's just a... But Iron Man, he has the cool Negro, you know? He has, like... He has another cool Negro, the Black King. He has Scarlett Johansson. He has, like, the real people. He has Spider-Man, the most iconic hero on the whole franchise. He just has the real pressers with him. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. I know he may be wrong about Sokovia, of course, but I don't care. He just has the real guys on his side. And then his parents get murked by, you know, Captain America's butt buddy, so he has to fight back. Obviously, understandable. They kind of had to cap the end of the movie, had Bucky and Cap press him, like that would ever happen. You just blow them up, you know. But whatever, you can cap if you want. It's okay. So, now, we have Captain America. I think this is the first Captain America movie. This movie is also just good. It's alright. I think that I didn't really... When I first watched it, I thought it was alright. I didn't have a problem with it, but even though I really like World War II history stuff, I'm into World War II, I'm into history, like, don't get it twisted. But they didn't really focus on that. Like, it's more of a Marvel superhero movie with a historical context, so it was more just like, they have to stop the Red Skull, all that stuff, traveling to war. And I'm not into the war movies for, like, the war aesthetic. I'm into it for the historical stuff, like, the historical analysis stuff, like, so stuff like this wasn't really that, you know, interesting, even though it kind of was. I don't know how to describe it, but it was alright. It was good. I won't call it just cool. It was good. It was actually good. This is the Eternals, I believe. It's between these two. I'll just call it lame because everyone calls it trash, and it's like, it's really not that bad. I didn't watch it for so long. I just watched it like last year because I was like, this movie's gonna be so bad and it's so lame. It's like 3 hours long. But I didn't watch it. I was like, no, this movie isn't good, but like, it's watchable. Like, it's not like terrible or anything. It's not a good movie. It's not even cool, but it is watchable. Like, it wasn't like a struggle to watch or anything like that. So I'm not gonna like down it or something. I'm not gonna say it's like trash. I am gonna down it and call it lame. I'm gonna down it and call it trash. It's not that bad, you know? I guess. I think this is the first Doctor Strange. It's between these two. Honestly, it's crazy because Doctor Strange is one of my favorite new heroes, but like his movies are just like the first part is another Ant-Man type. Okay, this is a real movie about a doctor, and then his hands get broken, and it's like, this is a real guy struggling. But then he goes to South Asia, and it's like, you know, superhero stuff. The magic is cool, don't get it twisted. His powers are cool. Magic stuff is cool. The magic's history, story stuff, it is cool. But it's like, the Ancient One, I don't really like her. She's kind of a bum. His villains are kind of losers too. Like, he's just a mad weirdo. And then the actual main villain, Dormammu, he is kind of cool, but he shows up at the end, and it's like, whatever. Like, the movie is cool. Like, don't get it. Like, the movie's not bad. It's just cool. Like, it's like, if this was a Marvel movie, maybe it'd actually be better, because if it was a Marvel, they wouldn't have the stupid Marvel, like, you know, they wouldn't have the stupid Marvel scenes, like the Marvel, all that stuff that Marvel does. They wouldn't have it there, but still, it's just, I don't really care to watch it ever again. Like, I'm not pressed to ever watch it again, so that's the problem, you know? This is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's hard to read from here, but, whatever the case is, I'll put it good. All the marks, I think they're all, no. It was actually a tough one, because I don't know if it's great or good. I'll call it great, because we haven't had a great movie so far. Because I like these movies. This is 2, which I think it is. This is the one with Ego. Yeah, this is 2. So this is the one with Ego, the planet guy. I actually like it. You know, Groot being a teenager is kind of annoying, but everything else is kind of cool about it. I like how they're all established themselves. They all know each other now. It's like a team effort. I like Peter's backstory. Even if Peter himself is a loser, I like his backstory. I like his whole, you know, he's a half celestial, that's why he could do what he did. That is all cool. And then Nebula finally getting to be like not so bad of a person, even though she is like a villain or whatever. That's all cool. Like, you know, I do appreciate this movie, and I do like it. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is also a good movie, really great movie. It's, everyone else I guess disagrees, but I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is actually better. You know, but still, I think they're both good movies. I think they're both really cool, and I like Ronan as a villain. I like this idea of this super, you know, zealot guy who just wants to kill his enemies, and it's like he's not trying to hear all that talk about peace, and he's not even doing it because he's like, oh, I'm a horrible, evil villain, I want to take over the world or something. He just is so pressed over his own, you know, gang war that he's like, I have to kill these guys at any cost. I have to up the score. I can respect that. This is Iron Man 2. I can't tell if this is Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. This is Iron Man 2, though. This movie is the best Iron Man movie to me. I don't really remember much of Iron Man 1, so that's why I'm saying that. Maybe Iron Man was better. But, like, from what I remember, Iron Man 2, I like the plot of this movie. I like the whole, like, you know, I like Iron Man going through the stuff. He's spiraling out of control, but then he gets back on his feet, all that stuff. I like this movie a lot. Not a lot, enough to, like, rewatch it, stuff like that, but I do like it a lot. But since I don't watch it that much, I kind of have to put it back to good, you know, because I'm not going to be a poser and say this movie's great when I barely care about it. Iron Man 3, it might as well be lame, but we're gonna call it good. We're gonna call it good because at least before the trash reveal of, like, you know, the Mandarin super terrorist being some nerd he bullied at a party. Aside from that stupid nonsense, it is a good movie. Like, he is traveling the world, you know, and I do like the last kind of act where they have to stop the assassination. It is cool. The plot may be kind of stupid, but the scenes and stuff are cool. Again, this movie's probably great, but I haven't seen it in such a long time. And when I did see it, it didn't leave a big impression on me. I was like, this movie's cool. That's it. But again, I respect from what I've seen in the movie from what I remember. I do respect it a lot. So I will put it here. This is Far From Home, I believe. Is it Far From Home or No Way Home? I can't tell. I'm going to assume it's No Way Home. This movie, people, oh, this is only good because they brought the old Spider-Man back. No, it's a good movie because it's a good movie. This movie is exciting. This movie is cool. This movie is not boring at all. It's exciting. It's what it needs to be. Like, it's just a return to form for Marvel after, you know, the fallout from the Avengers movies. It's just cool. It's just a good movie. It's a great movie. I recommend watching it. And but there are some bad things about this movie, like Sandman. I hate the Sandman. I hate him a lot. And he's like, why is he even here? He literally had his storyline resolved in Spider-Man 3. Like, what is he mad for? Like, what does he need redemption for? He's done. He's a bum loser thief who God was coming to him. Like, why are we focused on him right now? Why are we still pressed about what he's talking about? Just let it go. And then the dumbest thing is when he actually comes in, he's like, hey, Peter, like, I need to go back home. Give me the remote. We're gonna send you back anyway, you idiots. Just wait. Chill out, you bum. Like, I don't like this guy. I really don't like him. I really despise him. I hate him in Spider-Man 3. I hate him here. Like, you could be on the good guy's side and just wait your turn. Instead, you wanna fight New York with the villains? Why are you still opping? Like, he really just, he pisses me off. Like, just know that. I hate this guy with a burning passion. Then we have Electro. Electro's way cooler here. Like, Electro, I liked Electro in Spider-Man. I like Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2 as well, but the thing is, he's so depressing there. Like, he's just alone and, like, nobody respects him, and then he gets deformed for life, and he gets killed. It just, like, it's sad enough to make a grown man almost cry or something. It's just sad. It's just terrible. And he's black, too, so it's like, you know, he had a tough time in school. Like, it's a depressing movie. It's depressing for him. Like, it is really sad. So to see him be here, So to see him be actual Jamie Foxx here, like a real, like, you know, suppressor, I'm so happy to see it. And then we have Doc Ock, who is cool. You know, he's kind of tweaking, but he is cool. He's a cool villain. Goblin's also super cool. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about that mask. It's stupid. It's goof. Halloween costume mask. I'm glad it's gone. But he himself is pressing. He's just like, he's that guy in this movie. I appreciate his role and stuff. Toby and Andrew coming back is cool too, but they better not spam it. Seeing them again was alright. It was interesting, but like, don't fan service out. Like, they're cool. Don't bring them back over and over again. They're just cool. It's alright. The best part of the movie, I guess, is Peter having to come to terms with the fact that it's over for him and still making sacrifice. And even though a lot of the stuff in it is kind of like questionable, like towards the end about how like, oh, all these villains are coming through the different universes, we have to do this spell to rewind and make people forget. Like, the logic behind that is kind of spotty, but it doesn't matter. The point is, Peter made a giant sacrifice, and that is cool. Then we have Homecoming. They went from this to me when I first watched it to this, and now, yeah, this movie is just annoying to me. Like, I don't care about it. I don't like the fact that Ned is so annoying. Speaking of Ned, I forgot to mention him being a wizard out of nowhere, but Ned is so annoying to me. MJ was so heavily built. You know, Zendaya is like one of the... Zendaya was like popping off back then, so they had her in all the commercials for the movie. It came out, she was like barely even in it. Like, she just had 4 lines being snarky, and that was it. So I'm like, what was the point of this? It wasn't even his love interest in the movie. It was some other black girl. Like, and then the actual movie itself, Vulture was like mad overtone like everybody else in the world. And, like, it's okay, but he's not really a villain I care about. He's just a weapons dealer, like, whatever. Like, this movie is just lame to me. Like, I just don't care about this movie anymore. And it's not as bad as like Amazing Spider-Man 1, but it's pretty close. Like, they're both down there. We have Avengers 1. This movie is great. This movie is like the second best Avengers movie, in my opinion. I really like this movie. When I first watched it, this movie's cool. After years, I hadn't watched it for some time, so I was like, oh, this movie's alright. I rewatched it like last year or 2 years ago. This movie's actually really good. This movie was like the original Infinity War. It brought together these heroes in a way that was really cool. Loki was actually like pretty wicked in this movie though. Like, he was talking crazy. He was way more wicked in this movie than any other movie. I don't know why he was so tweaked out. They were like, oh, it's the Mind Stone. It was made him possessed, but that has to be like a retcon. That has to be them going back in time, because there's no indication of that in the movie itself, or even in the franchise itself. Nobody ever mentioned that or hinted to that in the actual movie series. And, you know, he was the one controlling people, so it's like, every time you control people, the Mind Stone will glow, but whatever. You know, they can do what they want. They can say what they want. But yeah, Loki was a super wicked guy in this movie. He was pressed about the whole, you know, being adopted thing, the whole Thor being favored above him thing, the whole, you know, being a nerd with magic thing. So he had to take it on Earth. Okay. But it is a really good movie, seeing all these guys come together and have to meet each other and have to, like, you know, work together with their problems and not liking each other at first, and then growing to, like, you know, care about each other. Nuking New York, all that. Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's a good movie. Like, great movie. One of the best Marvel movies. I'm gonna arrange these by how good they are in terms of each other. So I'll put this here. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2, 1. No Way Home is better than both these movies. So yeah. Black Panther's better than Ant-Man, I'll say that. No, this isn't Black Panther, this is Endgame. Endgame is better than Ant-Man though. Black Panther is probably better than Endgame. And is it? No, it's not. Never mind. No, it's not. 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 Captain America, that's better than Ant-Man. Yeah. This is cool. Iron Man 2 is better than Ant-Man 1. No, they're both better than Ant-Man. What? They're both better than Ant-Man. No, Iron Man. Oh, yeah, they're both better than Ant-Man. I thought it was Iron Man 3 here for a second. Never mind. Iron Man 3 is better than Doctor Strange, in my opinion. And Ultron. Oof. Yeah, I'm cool with that. No, this movie is worse than Eternals. It is. It just is. And Homecoming is also better than this movie, but it's not. No, I can't do that. I used to like this movie, even though I don't like it now. I can't call it worse than Eternals. Like, okay. Alright. Now back to the list. Here we have The Hulk. I haven't watched the movie in so long. Maybe it is actually good, but I just can't remember if it's good or not. That being said, it's just... I did watch it, so I'm not gonna put didn't watch, but it's just like, whatever. Like, I don't... Every time I see a clip of this movie, I'm like, this is all just okay. Like, I don't really care about it. It doesn't inspire anything to me. But I can't call it lame, because I do remember, like, there are some, like... The plot of it's cool. I like the feel of it. The feel of it being like a real gritty movie. I like that. Especially in the backdrop of Marvel movies being goofy, all that stuff. I like that. So I have to call it cool at least. But I will put it below all these three because, you know, I don't care to ever go back to watch it. Ooh. This is Ragnarok. Okay, this is, you know, up here. Yeah. This is like one of the best Marvel movies to me. Besides, you know, the real cinema movies. I really like it a lot. The story is kind of goofy, and obviously now that's a problem, but back then it was a good step in the right direction because Thor was this gritty, dark movies that weren't even interesting, so it was a problem. So making him a, you know, more of a goofy character at first, not now, but at first it was a step in the right direction. It made him more relatable, because I think before Thor was just like a guy. He was one of the four. Like, you know, people didn't hate him or anything, but he was just like, you know, he had much of a personality besides being the whole justice guy, the whole hot-headed violence justice guy. But now it's like he's a lovable, fun character. He's like a talkative guy. You know what he's gonna say in a situation. Like he has a better personality. He has a more fleshed out personality now. So this movie did that for him, and the Grandmaster's cool too. Loki being a half villain, half ally was also a very interesting thing. And them being brothers, like, and having to be an adventure together while still Loki causing some problems. I like the whole dynamic. It was way better here than in the second Thor movie, because here Loki was actually like, you know, because here the movie itself is actually good. So the backdrop made it better. This is Thor, the second Thor movie, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is like, before long, this is the worst Marvel movie. This is actually terrible. Like, this movie is so boring. The elves don't matter to anything. The Reality Stone, like, okay, I get it, but, like, who cares? It does kind of matter. The Reality Stone being in Asgard does matter, but, like, his friends are lame. His other friends are lame. Like, this movie is just lame. Like, it's not cool. Like, it's not a good movie. It's boring. Now there's a Thor movie, the first one. This movie's good. Yeah, this movie's good. I do like the whole backdrop of Asgard. I like him being this super powered being from the get-go. He has to lose his powers and meet scrubs on Earth. This movie's good to me. I wouldn't call it great, but I do like it. I do, I like Loki taking over powers and trying to stop the Freudians, who are his own people, but he doesn't care because he just wants to power, all that stuff. I like this movie a lot. Not a lot, but I like this movie. It's cool. I didn't watch this movie. This is Shang-Chi. I didn't watch this movie either. Am I tweaking? Is this not Eternals? This whole time I say Eternals or something else. Oh, that's a problem. But whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the problem now. This is Eternals this whole time. This is Winter Soldier. Never again will I make a mistake like that. Never again. This movie, Winter Soldier, is debatably, yeah, I don't know if it's better than Civil War or not. I'm gonna put it here instead. This is a real cinema. This is one of the best movies ever. Captain America may be a bum himself, but he has like the best movies. This movie is hard. This movie is literally like another action, like, you know, piece by piece. What's gonna happen next? Like, the whole Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. thing is well done. Like, all these guys you have to look at sideways now, and then they actually just succeed in taking over, so they have to end the whole organization. It's just cool. The hit order, the little, you know, sneak peek cameo name drops. It's just, this movie's hard. Like, this movie is amazing. Bucky is still annoying, a loser, but the idea of him and being Captain America's former friend he has to fight, yes, this movie is great. It feels like I'm wounded. It really feels like I'm wounded, the fact that I put it in lame earlier. I know I thought it was Eternal, so it doesn't count, but still. This movie is like one of the best Marvel movies ever, and to see its image next to lame just annoys me. Like, I have to edit this video out. Like, I have to, like, put a black box there or something. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, but it has to be changed. Like, something about that has to change. I'm pretty sure this is, Far From Home. Is it not? Or is this No Way Home the whole time? And I just can't read? Let me just open it up. Okay, I'm so tweaked out. This was the No Way Home poster all along. Everything said about No Way Home. Take that and apply it to, this instead. This is No Way Home. Like, never mind. I was tweaked out. But that being said, this is a Far From Home. I like this movie a lot. This movie is, like, great. I like Mysterio as a villain. I like the fact that he is, like, somehow connected to Tony. I don't like it that much, but I think it's cool. And I like his personality. I think he's a very charismatic villain. I think he's a very interesting villain. I like his powers. I like how, you know, he had all these drones that can actually damage things, but they're not what you think they are. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. What else we have? This is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, no, this movie is, like, lame. When I first watched it, I thought it was good, but then I was like, no, I hate the way she murked the Illuminati, even though they are also losers, but it's still cool. No, it's lame. Like, this movie is just them running around for a long time, doing nothing of importance. Wanda is such a terrible character now. She was okay in, you know, Infinity War. That was her best movie, but now you are on a mass murder rampage because your imaginary friends are in another universe. Like, no. That's so stupid. Like, I mean, it's not stupid. It's like, if she was like a straight up villain, which she kind of was, but they like, then it would be fine. But you could touch on angle her to be like, kind of sympathetic. She's not. She's annoying. Like, they're not even real people. At least to you. Like, just get over it. This Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor has the worst movies. Thor is like the best of the Avengers to me as a character. He has the worst movies. This movie's terrible trash. Not as bad as Thor 2, but this movie I saw in theaters. This is one of the very few movies I watched in theaters that made me want to just like walk out of the theater. Like, I hated watching this movie. It was terrible. Oh yeah, this is Captain Marvel 1. I'm so tweaked out. I did watch this movie. I thought it was Captain Marvel, like the Marvels or something. I did watch this movie. That being said, it's cool. Like, people hate this movie because they hate, you know, her. But it's like, this movie's alright. It's not a bad movie. When I watched it, it was interesting. I thought it was good at first. It's just cool. The Skrulls are annoying little refugees. Like, I hate the whole, like, they think they're villains, but they're not. Like, it would have been cool 10 years ago, but it's kind of overdone at this point. You know, Disney ruined that, the whole dynamic, so whatever. But this movie is alright. I'll say that. It's not good, but it is alright. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but I don't want to watch it again. I'm not gonna seek it out, you know what I mean? This is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I know that for a fact, and it is whoever Black Panther is. Is it a good movie? It's not better than Iron Man's though. It's not even better than Ant-Man. Yeah. Is Black Panther better than Ant-Man? No, it's not. It's better than Thor, though. Yeah, this is better. Black Panther is not better than the Iron Man movies, at least the first two. So yeah, this is better. This movie is good. It's not, like, lame. It is interesting. It is a cool movie, but, like, it's not great. And it's almost cool. Like, it's on the bottom tier of it. It belongs over here, you know? I don't think it's better than Ultron, so I'm kind of conflicted right now. No, maybe it is, because Ultron's like an Avengers movie. This is supposed to be like a good movie, but I don't even want to think about this movie, so I'll put it here, whatever, we'll let it slide. Maybe I'll rearrange this list, like, next time I do this list, if I ever do this list again, whatever. Now we have Quantumania. Everyone thinks this is trash, but I don't care. It's cool. Like, I know it's a bad movie. Trust, I know all the problems with it. I know it's uninspired. I know the acting's lame. I know the story's lame. I know it's a disappointment. I know it's overhyped. I know, I get it. But that being said, I just like this movie's aesthetics. People compare it to Star Wars, and I kind of like Star Wars. Not all of them, just 3 of them. But I do kind of like Star Wars. And I like the whole, them fighting a, you know, wicked, imperialistic figure who controls his troops by his own personal command. I like that whole aesthetic. I don't care what anyone says, Kang is cool. He may be gone now, but he is cool. Like, he was cool. He was a cool villain, I like his powers, all that stuff. Stop tweaking about him, let it go. He was cool. That being said, it's over now, so, you know. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the best of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It is great. It is, you know... Is it better than Thor Ragnarok, though? Recency bias, I'll say yes. It probably isn't, but I'll say yes for now. It is a really good... no, recency bias, I don't care, it's not better. But it is better than the other Guardians of the Galaxy movies, I'll say that for a fact. It is better than No Way Home, and it's better than Far From Home, in my opinion. Like, this movie is a perfect send-off. And I like them going around the world to try to save... do I even think that? Is it better than No Way Home, though? Yeah, it is, because this movie is fan service done right. Like, this movie is not fan service like Far From, like, No Way Home, but all the heroes back. This movie is like fan service, and like we have these people grow together, and now you can see them, their story, like, you know, puts to rest. This movie's cool, and it can get, you know, pretty heavy at times, I guess. Whatever. I like this movie. It's cool. It's if you watch the first 2 movies, this movie is really good to watch. Too bad that they have all this Marvel, you know, storyline where you have to watch this movie to understand why they're here. You have to watch Thor 4 to get why this happens. It's just too much Marvel intertwinedness. But that being said, it's a good finale to the trilogy. I didn't watch this movie. I heard it was trash. That's when I said about Captain, I meant Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels. So yeah, this is the whole tiers, in my opinion. I respect this movie more than Civil War because it didn't need other characters from other movies to make its case for it. It's just perfect by itself, or just almost perfect by itself. But that being said, Civil War is just a more enjoyable experience. Not by much. They're both like super close to each other, but like it's more enjoyable. This movie, I can't call it real cinema because it's good, it's great, but it's not like Infinity War, like changed my life. It's not that great, but it is good. Yeah, I'm cool with this list right now. May edit it depending on what you guys say in the comments. Probably not, though. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. And a lot of you guys don't. But still, voice your agreement or disagreement in the comments. I know I'm right, though. So just know that. And depending on how this video goes, I'll make other tier lists about other things. Like, who's more powerful than who. Like, you know, what season of what show, what episodes, like all that stuff. Like, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, this has been my first tier video, and I hope you enjoyed it.